This is an iPad Pro 11, third generation, and as you can see, we've already got the screen removed, and it says that the battery is not charging and it does not turn on. So when we plug this in over here, we go straight to, hopefully you can see that. Why is there always glare? There we go. You can see we're going straight to 0.49, so that's gonna almost definitely be a short somewhere on the motherboard, which is not going to be easy to feel. So I'm going to take this tape off here and grab the thermal camera and see if maybe we get lucky and this is just a charging IC. So it turns out that even with the battery isolated, we still are pulling half an amp and getting heat both from this power management IC and from one of the audio chips. So I think we have a different problem going on here other than a charging system failure. And the question is, where is the problem? So I'm going to guess possibly the audio, which is going to be the easiest thing to test. We'll check on the board in that location, see if we find anything shorted, and worst case scenario, we can pull that chip off and see if we don't have the same symptoms. Okay, so looking at this area, right over here, that's the chip that was getting hot, along with this one over here. All of these things almost look like they're burnt, which is strange, but weird. In any case, this is attached to these. And if we go over here, put the multimeter in diode mode, and we will find that this line right here is going straight to ground. So I'm going to guess, see it's ground on both sides. And that is going to be ppv_bst_audio. So I think we do have an issue. Fortunately, on the back of the motherboard, we've got a test point right here. So we're just going to attach a wire. Some solder would be good. And this is very likely a 4-volt line because it's something to do with audio that's got a whole lot of caps on it, but we're going to play it safe and just inject 1 volt. So it looks like, of course, our problem is obscured by this little metal rail here, at least partially. So there are 2 caps, one here and one underneath here, that are on that line. And you'll see here in just a second, I'll confirm that this is where the heat is coming from. I hope it's this one that's easy to reach, but I have my doubts. So we'll put some freeze spray on here, turn this on. Maybe a little too much. Yeah, and the way that melted, you see everything else melted before that cap, so I have a feeling it's going to be the one that's further in. It always seems to be the case. These little things, for some reason, they're good at hiding things, and then of course when you need to get to them, makes your life more complicated. So we are going to pull this cap just for the heck of it, probably for nothing, but you know, at the very least we can get a measurement, because I don't think see if the schematic shows us. Actually, yeah, that's a 10 microfarad 25 volt, so we know this line can handle quite a bit of voltage. And I was being a little too cautious in the beginning. That's okay. Let's get this dude off. And with any luck, maybe that will be our culprit, which even the way it's positioned is just going to be tricky. So I am going to put this on something that won't bubble up when I get it hot. And I believe we can get our tweezers in here. Just kind of slide it over and pull it out. Tricky. Alright, well, it's off the line anyways. Come on. Yeah, of course. That is just an awkward position. Jeez. Alright, you are annoying. Lift this up just a hair. And that is our guy. Or at least one of them. Let's see, so we should now be clear on the upper part. There we go, no beep. So there's ground. Let's see what the diode says on that. Okay, so I've got 0.399 and climbing, so we're good. So fortunately, the short was on the cap right next to the edge, and we just need to replace that, and hopefully we'll be back in business. And I do not have any 10 microfarad 25 volt caps, but I do have some that are 35 volt. So that is going to do the trick. Get some flux in here. I'm not going to mess with trying to remove that factory solder, because with our tweezers we should have plenty of heat to make this happen. Right. Alright, that should be good. Just want to make sure we're on there solid. Ground side looks good. Okay, now we'll clean this up. Bend that little metal tab back down, remove our jumper wire, get this thing back together, and it should fire up. All right, we are partially assembled and ready to check this thing out. So I just got things plugged in here and our battery terminal screw in place. Let's hit the button. And we have an Apple logo. All right, touchscreen is working. Of course, we have a passcode. And I don't know if you heard that, but that means the audio circuit is working. And look at that, the battery is fully charged. Okay, that is it. We're ready to put this thing back together, and hope that you found that helpful.